Stakes are hundreds of millions of US dollars. Unbelievably bad things are happening behind the scenes. I still find it hard to believe. There are barely 24 hours left until anything very disastrous happens. We should not lose any time in getting right to the topic of this very critical video. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the curve in the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Investors have had a wild trip in the erratic realm of Bitcoin in recent weeks. An additional crash rocked the scene just when it seemed the market was starting to rebound, leaving many scratching their heads in shock. Prices fell one further yesterday, shocking the cryptocurrency community. What, however, has been propelling this crazy journey? As you recall, investment into the cryptocurrency field began to flow 5 months ago with the introduction of the first ever crypto ETF, namely the Bitcoin ETF. Prices reached previously unheard of heights as a result of the daily inflow of hundreds of millions of dollars. Particularly, Bitcoin rose quickly, passing the $70,000 threshold and beyond. And this is very essential. One cannot stress how important Bitcoin is to the ongoing crypto market boom. Every action of it creates ripples that affect the course of other assets, particularly Shiba Inu, across the whole area. We have seen personally how closely Shiba Inu tracks the fortunes of Bitcoin, which fluctuate in lockstep with the king of cryptocurrencies. Given Shiba Inu's recent explosive ascent, gains surpassing 200% in only a week, the importance of Bitcoin's influence is indisputable. This shows how intertwined the cryptocurrency industry is and how much Bitcoin's advancements affect those of its competitors. Still, what occurred in the previous 24 hours to cause a new fall in all cryptocurrency prices? That raises a very valid issue. Investors felt a surge of relief just as it seemed that the cryptocurrency market was beginning to breathe again. Hope flashed as indications of recovery loomed after the agony of repeated crashes. That hope, however, was fleeting. The market quickly descended back into anarchy, despite early signs of optimism. And the reason is that yesterday saw the $154 million highest outflow from a Bitcoin ETF in a single day in history. A major sell-off of Bitcoin resulted from the cascading impact of this enormous withdrawal from ETFs. Prices fell once further, with effects seen across the whole cryptocurrency industry. Notably, a situation like this has happened before. March 1st saw a similar, albeit lesser, incident, but yesterday's outflow was much larger than earlier ones, which increased the effect on the direction of Bitcoin's price. How much longer, however, will the cryptocurrency market plummet? And what caused the unexpected cessation of the Bitcoin ETF investment flood? Exists any more plot, or is this the end of the road? Pre-halving retraces have been recorded for Bitcoin historically between 14 and 28 days before to the halving. This negative 20% steep retrace started 14 days before the halving in 2020. Before Bitcoin burst out into its parabolic rise, there was a more than 150-day reaccumulation phase after this brief pullback. The minus 40% deep pre-halving retrace started 28 days prior to the halving in 2016. 8 weeks in all passed during this retracement before Bitcoin entered a parabolic rise. This dire prediction echoes historical trends seen ahead to other halving occasions and implies that Bitcoin may be about to undergo a major slump. The startling numbers provide a depressing picture of possible retracements and protracted periods of market volatility. Now you could be thinking, well, that makes sense. People are selling their crypto assets to repurchase them later at a lower price because they believe the market will fall even worse. Nevertheless, things are not that easy. Not in the least. Recent market activity begs the confusing question of why investors would sell off their cryptocurrency holdings to profit from expected price declines and then purchase back at reduced rates. We are seeing more withdrawals than a flood of assets into exchanges. This bewildering tendency calls into doubt the received wisdom of buying cheap and selling high. It doesn't total up at all. We would anticipate a spike in cryptocurrency inflows on exchanges as people try to carry out their sell orders, if people were really trying to sell off their crypto holdings in expectation of lower prices. Quite the contrary is true, however, since large outflows from exchanges suggest a resistance to part with their assets. Even some of the Shiba Inu whales exhibit the same confusing behavior. Typical of this is the incident from yesterday, when an unknown person took more than 500 billion Shiba Inu tokens off of Coinbase. What is then really happening right now? Simply said, nothing adds up. Well, a telling tweet that clarifies an interesting phenomena might be the cause of the paradoxical market action. As to the tweet, holders of 0 to 10 Bitcoin are still transferring Bitcoin to those holding 10 to 100 Bitcoin. This finding points to a change in strategy for some of the whales who are aggressively acquiring cryptocurrency assets in spite of the current market collapse. This fascinating tactic goes against accepted knowledge. Some whales are expanding their stocks slowly rather than selling them off in hope of decreasing pricing. Though the market is in chaos, people are creating bigger holding bags instead of giving in to panic and dread. Examining this unusual tactic more closely reveals its justification. These whales are positioning themselves tactically for possible future returns by amassing cryptocurrency assets while prices are low. They are aware of the past experience of Bitcoin halving events, when the value of the cryptocurrency has surged. These whales are essentially being long-term investors, expecting a possible market panic after the halving. Instead of getting discouraged by brief swings, they are taking use of the cyclical character of the cryptocurrency market to be ready for the inevitably coming boom that often follows times of consolidation and pullback. The deliberate accumulating of assets highlights the knowledge and vision of institutional participants in the cryptocurrency market. Although short-term swings in market mood may influence ordinary investors, some whales operate with a more profound awareness of market dynamics and deliberately position themselves for long-term success. This reminds us that while market volatility may make ordinary investors worry, institutional investors often have a better idea of how to handle choppy situations. Returning the attention to Shiba Inu, nevertheless. What would Shiba Inu cost once Bitcoin halves, you may be thinking now. Given the current market turmoil, many investors have been considering this subject, and you may just be surprised by the response. Leading on-chain metrics and price forecast company CoinCodex has given Shiba Inu a pretty positive future. Their research suggests that Shiba Inu may climb astonishingly to 220. According to this projection, Shiba Inu may beat its prior record high and perhaps soar over the 4-0s-9 level. Those investors who have persevered through the storm and stuck with Shiba Inu may find great joy in this forecast. Undoubtedly a positive development, the possibility of eventually surpassing Shiba Inu's all-time high, which has evaded the token for more than 2.5 years, is pleasant after a protracted period of stagnation and volatility. But one should proceed with some prudence when using such projections. Though they might arouse enthusiasm and confidence in investors, positive forecasts should be seen as possible results rather than assurances. On that, however, what is your view? Post a comment here. Reading your viewpoint would be quite interesting. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.